I had less than £100 to my name.
Okay.
And that £100, I spent all of that on little things to buy.
Yeah.
And literally within a year, I flipped back to 22,000.
How did you get started in trading, man? How did you find out about it?
Through Instagram, really. I got into his Signal group and it wasn't what I expected. He scammed me about £2,000.
What was it that made you want to stick with it, even though you had that massively bad experience at the start?
I was just thinking, there's so many people claiming to be earning money from this that there's got to be some truth behind it. Would I rather do a class on business where my business teacher don't even have a business, or stay at home and learn how to trade? I literally didn't speak to anyone. It was just me backtesting. I think I've backtested literally every single year of data since maybe 2015.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
I don't watch silly videos. It's always something financial I'm watching.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Alpha Futures YouTube channel. Today we're going to have an amazing podcast. We've got Keagan here at the ripe age of 18 years old, already made 5 figures in payouts and prop trading, and we're going to hear how he's done it so we can get some secrets. So amazing. Keagan, welcome to the channel, my friend.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, so 18 years old, man, already
Yeah.
crushing it. How did you get started in trading, man? How did you find out about it?
Through Instagram, really. I came across this guy's page. I won't say his name, but
Okay.
long and behold, I got into his Signal group and it wasn't what I expected, let's say.
Okay, start off on Signal. A lot of people start with Signals,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
This was about 18 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
He scammed me about £2,000.
oh, jeez,
Yeah.
man. And at that age, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, big time. Because I was reselling for a while, reselling clothes and shoes.
Okay.
And it was most of the money I had from that at the time.
Wow, jeez.
Yeah.
So you've had a bit of a grind set at a young age, man. Like
Yeah.
a bit of an entrepreneur. How did you get started with business and all that stuff? Like, is it something you've always just been into? Or?
I did well at school academically, but not with the teachers. I'd always clash with them because I'd always be in the mindset of, I don't want someone to be controlling my life. That's why I wanted to trade for the freedom.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the freedom aspect that just overrules everything.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing at school because they're kind of, it sounds a bit cynical, but they are essentially designing you to be an employee, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like, okay, what do you want to do as a job? It's never like, oh, I want to start this business, I want to start that business, I want to get into investments, I want to do this. It's like, oh, I want to be an employee of this company. And if that doesn't sit right with you, if you don't want to be an employee, sometimes it don't matter how smart you are, man, you don't really do well at school, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not necessarily the path for everyone, which is like something that I think a lot of people might not realize. That's not to say that like education's important, but you are essentially like in control of where you apply yourself, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if you don't want to apply yourself to that and you think, you know what, my energy is better spent on this particular venture, then I think that's to have that kind of mindset is a good thing. So,
Yeah, for sure.
So you got started with reset. Was that like your first sort of dipping your toes into the world of being an entrepreneur?
What,
or?
reselling?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I remember I was in Tenerife with my mum and my nan.
Yeah.
I had less than £100 to my name.
Okay.
And I was there and I was thinking, what can I buy that I can maybe resell to start something?
Wow.
And that £100, I spent all of that on just little things to buy.
Yeah.
And literally within a year, I flipped back to 22,000.
Bro, that is insane. That's amazing. Well, I mean, the thing, just to have that mindset when you were there, though, of just thinking, most people on holiday are just like, they're off duty, bro. But you're in business mode on holiday.
Yeah, I was 16 at that point.
Wow. Bro, that's absolutely incredible. So how did that then transition into trading? Like, are you still doing that? Or?
No, I'm just doing... I mean, I could, because I could still make decent off that, but
Yeah.
trading is just my passion.
Okay, so when you started, you said you started trading the signal groups, then you lost a bunch of money. So a lot of times with those, like people will say, all right, I was successful doing reselling, that's good. I tried this trading thing, that didn't work. So forget that, let me try something else. What was it that made you want to stick with it, even though you had that massively bad experience at the start?
There was doubts in my mind whether trading was possible, but the only way to find out is by trying. And that's my mindset. I'm going to try until, okay, I've literally got nothing left. And even then, I'm going to get some more money. I'm going to try again.
Wow. And I guess, was it seeing other successful traders that gave you the confidence that...
I was just thinking, there's so many people claiming to be earning money from this that there's got to be some truth behind it.
This is it, right? They can't all be lying.
No, they can't be lying. And I was looking on, obviously, Trustpilot, some reviews.
Yeah.
Alpha Capital Group initially,
Yeah.
because they offer the demo. They offer demo accounts, don't they?
Yes, exactly.
So
Yeah,
I
free
was
trials,
just yeah, exactly. I was purchasing them and just trialing, and I read their reviews, and there were so many positive ones, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is looking good. So I'm going to keep trying this.
That's good. Shout out to the community. Leave a good Trustpilot review if you had a good experience, man. Because
100%.
sometimes we have this inclination to, like, if we have a bad experience somewhere, we'll be like, let me get on the internet and tell people. But if we have a good experience, and we don't always sell that. So yeah, hop on the Trustpilot and give us a good review if you've had a good experience with us, because obviously, it makes a big difference. But yeah, like you say, obviously if Alpha's got a good reputation, that's a good place to start. And free trials, such a good way to cut your teeth, man.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as the actual strategy, like, how did you figure out when to buy and sell? Like, what was your original approach to that?
I was a bit all over the place to start with. When you get into it, after I got scammed, in hindsight, I don't know how I didn't quit.
Yeah, I
After
mean, that's
losing
huge, yeah.
My family had questions. They was like, why are you still doing this after all that? You're just wasting your money.
Yeah.
This was while I was still in college, first year of college. And so then I was on YouTube just watching videos, strategy hopping. I started with, I believe it was a silver bullet strategy. I
Okay,
think I
yeah,
got straight into
2022,
that,
yeah.
I couldn't find much success with that. And then I came across, I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was someone talking about inversion fair value apps.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got into a course. I can't remember the exact date. It was nearer the start of my journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And good course?
Yeah. Help me out. I will say though, although it gave me the foundations, but I don't think a mentorship or a course is helpful in terms of necessarily getting you to consistent profitability. I think you need to go off and backtest, have market experience for yourself, because they can't provide that experience.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will start with signal groups and say, all right, this trading thing's hard. Let me just get this person to tell me when to buy and sell, and then end up getting rinsed doing that. And then the next step is, well, trading's still hard, so let me just learn a very black and white strategy or whatever, and just basically you're still getting someone to tell you when to buy or sell. Does that make sense? It's like anything to sort of push off the responsibility and say, okay, well, these guys say I should buy here and sell here, and I'm just going to do that. And there was one particular course or like mentorship I know that blew up a few years back, where their whole thing, like their whole shtick of like their sales pitch was like, it's a completely mechanical, it's 100% mechanical strategy, right? Which is essentially a signal group, right? You're saying that like, okay, I don't need to think. I don't need to make decisions. I will just know like a robot that I need to buy and sell here. And the honest truth is I've never met a successful trader that doesn't use their own brain, right? Like everyone I've met that's successful has been like, I learned these concepts. I went to the charts. I back tested, I put in the work, I put in the hours, I put in the months of that. And then I saw for myself that it worked. Because when you're there actually trying to buy and sell and you've got money on the line, it doesn't matter that like someone's told you this thing works, right? If you don't believe it deep down, and the only way to actually believe it is to have seen it with your own eyes enough times, right? So strategy development, back testing, all that stuff is so important, man.
100%, yeah. You need to build up your own discretion, like you said.
Yeah.
That's what I found going wrong when I was taking signals off the guy. Although they was poor, he was saying he has like a 90% win rate or something, and I'm like, well, 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, statistically unlikely, yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do this. I need to build up my own discretion.
Yeah.
So then obviously that's when I went and started back testing. I back test a lot, yeah. About 4 hours a day whilst I was learning. I've reduced it to probably about 1 or 2 now.
Okay. But you're still doing it even now?
Yeah, I still back test every day.
Wow.
Every day.
That's huge. And what do you think makes that so beneficial?
It's just a confidence thing, I think. Because although, yes, trading is very discretionary, it almost is kind of repetitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like you have your entry model and it's the same things but kind of different market types. Maybe we're consolidating one day, next day is very volatile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, your strategy is your strategy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. So if you're backtesting a certain number of hours a day, like, are you quite a routine person? Like, do you have a set routine throughout the day where, okay, these many hours I'm doing this or that? Or are you quite flexible with your trading hours? Or
I only trade an hour and a half a day, so my day's quite free, really. So my day consists of, like, wake up, maybe about 8 or 9, breakfast, get ready, go to the gym,
Nice.
sit around for a bit, backtest, then trade, a bit more backtesting afterwards
Yeah.
and whatnot, yeah.
That's intense. That's cool. So you're not at college anymore. You finished that, right?
Yeah, actually, I didn't get accepted onto my second year at college
Really?
because I was trading in class all the time. And when I was trading in class, they told me I couldn't, so I thought, would I rather do a class on business where my business teacher don't even have a business, or stay at home and learn how to trade? So I stayed at home for most of the year, and I had 30% attendance and basically got kicked off,
Wow.
which kind of forced me to pursue.
Well, yeah, I mean, way to back yourself, bro. That's what I'll say. That is one of those things. I mean, education is important. And there's so many people that are like, okay, I dropped out of college, I dropped out of university to do this. It just depends on the person, man. Like there are people out there that will do that and it's not such a good idea, but there are circumstances where like your hand's sort of forced, right? And you sometimes get almost backed into a corner. You're like, okay, if I'm actually going to do this and I'm going to commit, I've got to go fully into it.
Yeah, 110%.
And there's nothing that's going to make you take something seriously other than it being your only option, right? And it's that classic thing of like, if you land on an island that you have to conquer, you burn your boats, right? Because having an escape plan or whatever, or having a plan B, by the sounds of it, from you just decided, no, this is what I'm going to do, and you've just gone headfirst into it, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense. So what's your experience been like with Alpha Futures?
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely amazing. By far my favourite firm.
Okay, what do you think of the benefits over some other firms that you tried, or had any problems with other firms? Or
So when you actually take a payout, your maximum loss limit isn't set to 0. Because if you do it with another firm, for example, in fact, every other firm,
yeah,
and you take, say if you make 1,000 and you want to take that out,
yeah,
your account will be blown on any other firm, but with you guys, you're still left with some drawdown, which is amazing.
exactly.
I
think when Alpha Futures was like designing the models and stuff, I know Ben, shout out to Ben, he literally he was a futures trader himself with other firms, and he was just like, let me just see all the things that annoy me about the other firms and just sort of get rid of those, right? And I've done a stellar job, man. He's done a stellar job because it's sort of seen as a stepping stone into getting into Alpha Prime and like full-time trading. They want it to be something that's attractive to good traders, right?
Yeah.
And I think in any business, you sort of got two sides of the market, right? You can either try and go for the lowest common denominator, be the cheapest firm, try and get as many people in there as possible and make really bad rules and stuff like that. Or you can say, we want to go to the top of the market. We only want to attract the best traders. And so far, we've had very good success with that, right? Like on the future side, man, it's such a high caliber of traders. And it's a really good sort of beneficial relationship, right? Because we get good traders on the team and they get a good experience trading with us, right?
100%, yeah.
Cool.
The Alpha Prime thing is something I really want to thrive towards.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, that's the thing. There is nothing else out there like it, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I know I seem like I'm biased, but this is the thing. People go, oh, well, you work for them. I work for them because they're the best, man. Like, I was trading with Alpha first before I started working for them, right? And I could work for a bunch of other firms, but I don't because I don't trust them. No offense, guys. But Alpha, when I first met the guys, I was like, these are top solid guys, man. And even just chatting to them, it's not just the good guys, but they know what they're doing. Because of their background in actual proper city banks and investment banks and finance and working in stockbrokers, and that from the start I knew they know what they were doing. But it also means that they're kind of equipped to have that Alpha Prime side, right? Like they've sort of brought it back full circle and said, let's have a proper brick and mortar prop firm that people can graduate to, right? Trading desk, trading floor, all of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's just no one else out there doing it, man. I think they've got to that stage where it's just, I think that's seen, a lot of people see that as like the end game. And hey, man, you might be up there soon enough.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so.
So you've already secured some payouts with Alpha. How long have you been trading with Alpha Futures in total?
My birthday was in May, so how long is that?
May, June, July, August, September, October, like 4 months?
Yeah. Since I turned 18, yeah.
Okay, and you've already got payouts from Alpha in the last 4 months?
Yeah, that's right.
Bro, that's incredible. That's great work.
Thank you.
So how long were you learning to trade before you turned 18 then? Like, how long did it take you to kind of get to the stage where it clicked?
I started last March.
Okay, so like just over a year. So less than March, April, May. So yeah, like 14 months from starting trading to getting payouts with Alpha. Mate, that's incredible. That's great work. Like, what do you think are some of the things that have got you that level of success? Like, what do you think are the keys that have managed to help you get to where you are today?
Confidence. You really need to back yourself.
I can say from speaking to you, you don't lack that, bro. Like, you definitely back yourself, which is good. Well,
you need to.
Yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's huge.
100%. Backtesting. I think it's hard though, because some of my friends that I know, it doesn't work for them. For me, it worked for me. Obviously, it weren't just backtesting. It's actually being on the chart, showing up every day.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have that discipline to show up every day.
Yeah.
You've got to have the discipline to wait for your setup, you know.
Yeah.
And how do you find what's a good setup? Backtesting.
Yeah.
You know, so it all goes hand in hand. It all, like you said, it's a full circle.
Yeah, 100%.
It all goes together.
I think backtesting is so important, but equally you need experience in the live markets, right?
100%.
Because on one hand you've got to wait for your setup, and on the other hand you've also got to be able to execute that setup live when it happens, right? When the candles are printing. And backtesting is amazing for developing your strategy and getting your pattern recognition, all that stuff. But as far as the actual skill, you've got to have some. So that's the thing. Get a free trial with Alpha. Get a demo account, but I say get a free trial, man, because it's proof of concept, right? If you can pass a few free trials in a row, and that's like, why would you not do that if you got that opportunity to say like, okay, this is gonna be a chance for me to prove to myself that I can do it. Get a free trial. If that works, get another one. Why not, right? And then hop on the live account and get some skin in the game, man.
And that's what I did. I had when I had them demo free trials when I was still learning, I was just finding myself getting the profit goal on every single one, like 10 in a row. While I was still learning, I was like, okay, I'm doing something right here.
Yeah, that's huge.
But my psychology wasn't being affected because it's not real.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I kind of had to train myself to, you know, keep doing the same thing over and over again until it finally sticks in my head. Okay, you're going to show up at this time, a set amount of time, which for me is New York AM session. You're going to take one setup, you're going to wait for that setup, and then just, if all goes to plan, you shouldn't have any emotions when you start trading, which actually really helped, because when I started trading with you guys, I don't really feel anything like when I take a loss.
Look at that, bro. Stone cold killer. Yeah, well, this is the thing. A lot of the times when people complain about having bad psychology, one of my mentors, shout out to Blackwatch, Brian, he always used to talk about this, was that most of the time when people have these psychology things and they're like, oh, I lack confidence, you know, I get this really nervous feeling. I've got this lack of confidence, like I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, if you feel that, it's because you probably don't know what you're doing, right? Like a lack of confidence comes from not being confident in your setup, right? If you don't know what you're looking for and you're second guessing yourself and being like, oh, should I buy now? Should I not? Does that look right? That's when you're opening up yourself this opportunity to start second guessing and start psychology coming in. Whereas if you've done the back test, then you know your setup, you know what you're looking for. It's just a matter of pressing the button when it happens, right? It sets you up for success, right? As far as the actual psychology goes, right? Like, psychology is a real thing that you have to work on, but I think a lot of people make it unnecessarily difficult for themselves by not having the skill to back it up, right? And I think you've got to put in the reps. Like, once you've actually put in the reps and you know, okay, I do know what I'm looking for. Like I said, having that confidence, if I do know what I'm doing, that confidence comes from knowing, from the hours you put in backtesting, right? It's one thing just to stand up in the morning and be like, I'm confident, I know what I'm doing. But you're going to start doubting yourself if you don't actually know what you're doing, right? If you haven't put in the time backtesting, if you haven't put in the hours. But like you said, if you've been backtesting 4 hours a day for however long,
stupid amount of time,
then why should you not be confident, right? You've seen that setup hundreds of times.
I think I've backtested literally every single year of data since maybe 2015.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's like, what, nearly 10 years of data.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, that's it. Once you've seen, okay, this has played out this many times over 10 years,
you just think, what's the chances of my strategy stopping to work now?
Exactly.
You know,
that's huge. So briefly, I mean, we'll do a chart breakdown later, but like, if you had to say in one sentence what your strategy revolves around, like, how would you describe it?
Just unmitigated 15-minute and 5-minute fair value gaps, and inversion fair value gaps out of them taps into the untapped fair value gaps.
Okay.
Towards the draw and liquidity.
And you said like New York Open or?
Yeah, New York AM session.
Okay. I think that's good. So do you trade NQ, ES?
Yeah, like NQ. I use ES just to look for SMTs.
Okay. That's the thing about having a setup, because things like currencies can sometimes like move at random times throughout the day and stuff. But something like NQ, you know when the open is, you know when the volume's going to kick in. So it allows you to have like a framework for a setup and saying, okay, I know what I'm looking for and I know when I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
So not only does that help you manage your day more because you can say, okay, that's the hours I'm trading.
Yeah.
It saves you from like being on the charts all the time, bro. Which, I mean, I'll put my hands up and say I have done it, and I still am on the charts a lot because the asset that I trade, I could get this up at any time of the day, bro. Any time. So I've always got to be ready for it. Alerts pinging off left, right, and center. But if you've got an asset where you're like, I know my setup and I know the times when I want to see it, bro, that takes out so much stress from the day, right? And it gives you the freedom that everyone talks about trading, right?
Yeah. Because I find it's just a lot easier to master one session. Because if I started to trade the PM session, for example, I wouldn't be anywhere as consistent.
Yeah.
Because I find AM session typically targets the initial drawn liquidity for the day.
Yeah.
And then after it hits that, then it consolidates for a while. Yeah. You know?
It's so, I'd say, mature of you to realize that, like, more trading doesn't mean more profits. Because a lot of people say, well, why don't I take another setup? Why don't I do... But, bro, to make all the money you ever need, right? To make all the money you ever need, you just need to be consistent.
100%.
That's what people don't understand. Like, if you're making 5% in a week, the key to getting that Lambo isn't making 30% in that week. It's making 5% a week, but just on $1 million, right? Yeah. Instead of on 10,000. So, like, be consistent, have a setup, do it consistently, and just accumulate capital, right? And that's the thing. Again, Alpha Prime, unlimited capital. Like, there's no limit to how much capital you can get allocated.
Yeah.
Like, $1 million definitely. So if someone can just make, if someone's like, oh, I don't feel like my strategy is very good, I can only make 3% a month. You're like, you do the math, what that is in a year on $1 million, bro. You're going to be minted. So, like, yeah, having that maturity to realize I don't need to chase more setups, right? I've got a setup that works consistently. I've tested it for 10 years. Yeah. Let me just take that setup. Bro, you're well on your way to Lambo land. So that's fantastic, man.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, that's cool. So, started trading at 18, man. Like, what did your parents think? What did your friends think when you told them that that's what you were going to be doing?
Funny enough, my friends still think it's dodgy. But you'll get it.
Haters going to hate, man,
I literally show them the payouts going into my bank account from you guys. You know, very fast payouts.
Yes, pride ourselves on fast.
That. I show it going to my bank accounts and they're like, but why was your own friend trying to scam you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Some people just don't have the drive.
This is it. It's a lot easier to just say it can't be done. I'll do it with a gym analogy because you said you go to the gym and stuff in the morning. It's like the whole like fake natty thing, right? Yeah. Where you'll get a lot of people who will look at anyone who's in shape and say, yeah, but they're all just on drugs. Yeah. Right? And it's like, some of them probably are, but all of them can't be, right?
No.
Not everyone.
No way.
You're not telling me that every single person from like 1950 till today that's ever had a six-pack is on drugs. It's like, no, there's got to be some that aren't, right? But it's a lot easier for people just, if a particular person isn't driven and motivated and just wants to sit at home watching Netflix eating Haagen-Dazs, then it's easier for them to just say, those guys are all lying. Like, it's not possible, right?
It's jealousy.
Yeah, and it's just it removes responsibility from yourself. Yeah. Right? To say, do you know what, I could do that if I really tried, but I'm just too lazy, is such a difficult thing for someone to say to themselves. And it's the same thing with trading. Like, it's just difficult. Do you know what I mean? It's possible. It's just hard. Yeah. And not just hard technically, but it's difficult psychologically, emotionally. Like, it's a lot of pressure if you let it be. It's just you versus the market, right? You're getting up every morning and saying, all right, I'm going up toe-to-toe with Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and BlackRock, right? Trading on your laptop. Like, it takes a lot of confidence to do that, right? And for some people, it's just this idea that today I might make money or I might not. They'd rather just go to a job where they know they're going to make money, right? Yeah. Even if that's just stacking shelves.
It's the security of it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
They need to know that, okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever happens today, I'm going to get this amount at the end of the month, right? Whereas you're saying, do you know what? I might get this amount at the end of the month, or I might get this amount at the end of the month, right? But, like, I'm in control of that. It's my destiny. And I know at the end of the year, and consistently over years and years and years, that it's going to pay out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So
full confidence.
Yeah. But so that's it. I mean, so as far as you don't have any friends that trade as well. Like, do you have like an online community or anything like that?
Yeah, I do run a Discord.
Okay, cool.
I've started running a paid Discord recently.
Plug it, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
AK Futures on Instagram.
That's it. Check it out. That's
Yeah.
cool, man. And I do think that being part of a community, firstly, like for learning, it's good, but just for like support, right? Because trading is kind of a stressful, especially when you start and you don't know what you're doing. It can be stressful, right? And you can't just talk to a normal person about it. Like your friends and stuff, they're not going to understand it at all, right? Because their answer is just going to be, well, just quit then. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, mate, I had such a hard day today. Like this setup, I thought it was going to go this way. I end up losing. Like I lost like 2%. They'll be like, well, just quit then.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not what I need to hear, bro. It's
Exactly.
like,
you need someone lifting you up.
yeah.
Because when I was learning, I didn't speak to any of my friends. I literally was so antisocial for, 14 months? Or like just over a year.
Bro,
whatever.
locked in.
100%. I literally didn't speak to anyone.
Yeah.
It was just me backtesting.
So my biggest piece of advice to beginner traders, I'm going to give it now. It's like Fight Club, right? The first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. The first rule of trading, when you start, don't talk about trading, man. Like, because if you talk to your friends, your family, and just say, oh, I'm starting this thing, they're all just going to say, don't do it, it's a scam, right? Just grind in silence, right? Just lock in, learn the back. You don't need to tell anyone what you're doing, man. Like, I was doing it for years and didn't tell no. Because they'll know, because you'll turn up one day in the 5 Series, right? Yeah. And that's how they know that, trading, right? You don't want it to be a stage where people, because they ask you, how's the trading thing going? And they always ask you on the day that you just took a massive loss. It's always the way. I'm like, I got slipped because I was trading NFP like an idiot. Do you know what I mean? I was lost like 3% in one trade, and I get a text from my mate, how's the trading thing going? I'm like,
typical.
Today, not very well, mate, right? But so I think that's the thing. You don't need to talk about trading until someone asks you, wow, nice watch. How'd you get it? That's the way I see it, right? Until then, you don't need to talk about it. That's my advice for the beginners, right? What would your advice be for someone who's just starting out trading, man?
I would say stick with one strategy. In my opinion, what works best is inversion fair value gaps.
Okay.
There's people like, can I say the names of the
people?
Yeah. Louis Hughes on Instagram, Dodgy, PB Blake and Patrick. They're very, very good. Their content is amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah. They're like the main 4.
Good.
I'd say.
Now, I always say, like, shout out people who are legit, man. There's a lot of content out there that isn't good, and people need to look in the right places, man. So that's good if that's where you learn. And obviously, like you say, on your
of course,
Discord as well, you can
put people in the right direction. Run a Discord together.
Okay,
which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's only started up recently in the last month or so.
Cool. So, what's the plan for the future, man? Where do you see this thing going? Is it going to be like I trade for an hour and a half a day? I've got some other things going on, like I want to get back into this business or that business, or is the plan to kind of do the trading thing as the only thing, or like the main thing, or the side thing? Like, what's the plan going forward?
I want to diversify my portfolio as much as I can. I want to be doing this and this and this, but obviously my main focus is trading. When I'm at a comfortable stage where I can say, okay, I've got enough money to put some into this business or put some into real estate, then I'll start to dabble in stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like currently I'm putting a set amount of my payouts away into long-term investments.
I'm just like, why wasn't I... Bro, I was not you when I was 18, bro. I was a waste man. I didn't figure this stuff out till I was like way older. If you are 16, 17, 18, I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, bro. Put 10% of your paycheck into a long-term investment. Please, man, you'll be a multi-millionaire by the time you retire. So that's brilliant as well, like more investments. How did you, I guess, just go online and just learn about investing stuff?
I watch so many, all I watch, I don't watch like silly videos. It's always something financial I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm always surrounding myself around where I want to be in the future. You know what I mean?
Man, that's so good. And that is the thing, because a lot of times people think that spending time online and watching YouTube and stuff is like a waste of time. It does depend what you're watching, right? Because there's a lot of really informative content out there. If you spend that amount of time educating yourself, then you can learn all sorts of stuff, man. And I think long-term investments, really good. Also, I was saying to the last guy I did a podcast with, actually, because he's also young, starting out, there's a lot of business opportunities in the world and a lot of things, financially, and it's like, oh, they're amazing, but you kind of need money to make money, right? Like real estate's great, but you need 10, 20, 30K to put down a deposit on a place, or, investing in this particular thing is great, but you need backing for it. Prop trading with alpha specifically, it's like a cheat code, bro. Like, it's the only thing I can think of where you don't need money to make money. Right?
Yeah.
Where you can, because like you were saying earlier, like how much is an activation fee with like discount code and stuff like that? Like what you know, the barrier for entry for this is so low, right?
100%. You can literally get, what is it, $2,000 of equity to play around with for just like $80, $70.
Yeah.
That's just, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know,
like
when I was coming into this space and I heard about that, I was like, it just sounds too good to be true.
Right.
But it literally is how it sounds.
I know. That's the crazy. I thought exactly the same thing. When you look at it, you're like, what you're saying that I can get $50,000 worth of capital to trade or whatever for this amount of money, or I can get this amount. I mean, on the Alpha Capital side, like a 5K account, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like $30 or something. $20 or something. So especially when we've got discount codes and stuff like that, hanging out for Black Friday coming soon, like obviously stuff like that. Where else in the world can you potentially spin up thousands and thousands and thousands from just such a small investment, right? But then once you've got that money, now you're where we were saying, now you can play with the big boys, you can do real estate, you can do all these other things that would require money, right?
Exactly.
So I think trading can make you all the money that you need, but it also gives you the opportunity to do all this other stuff, bro, like business stuff, real estate, all of that. The second thing as well is, and this is what I was saying to the other guy, is that if you get to a stage where you're like, oh, I actually want to apply for a mortgage, having other businesses that give you consistent monthly income, right, rather than trading can be like, oh, it's this amount this month, it's that amount that month and stuff like that. Getting other stuff where you're getting like, okay, I at least know I'm getting this amount of money every single month consistently. It just looks better on a bank statement.
Oh, it does, 100%.
Anyway, right.
Because the more things you're doing, the less chance you have of everything being at a loss for a month, for example.
Exactly.
Because in trading, you can have a losing month potentially.
Yeah.
But if you're trading and you have two businesses and you're involving yourself in real estate.
Yeah, you get rental income and stuff like that.
The chances of you losing on each one of them incomes, like altogether, is so low.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Bro, you've got your head screwed on, man, honestly. So cool to see, man. Like, again, I said, well, this is going to be me like sound like some old man yapping, but like, yeah, I wish that I'd had my head screwed on like you are at your age, man, because like, honestly, like the opportunities, this is the crazy thing, is what you're doing now, there's so many people that are successful, right? And people will look at it and be like, yeah, but they got daddy's money, right? They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Like, everyone's got an excuse as to why they haven't got those opportunities. But the opportunities that you have now and that you are taking, they are available to everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's got the same opportunities. Like, everyone can get on YouTube and learn how to trade for free. Everyone can get on the free version of TradingView and backtest, or get some, like, you know, some backtesting software and do 10 years of backtesting. Everyone can get a free demo account and test this. Do you know what I mean? Everyone can spend $30 on an account. So the opportunity that you've had, right, is available to everyone, but you've just actually seen it and thought, I'm going to take this opportunity.
100%.
And the truth is, man, like, you're 18 now, you're going to be at 28, and your friends now are going to be looking at where you are then, right, with, you know, your Lambo and whatever. Or wherever you are at that point, and they're gonna be like, man, if only I had done that 10 years ago, man.
I don't want to live in regret like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be looking back in however many years time and be like, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
Because if I lose out on $500 because I bought however many evals or whatever, I'll be like, at least I tried. At least I was the one to try. They weren't.
100%.
Other people aren't. I took the risk.
This is it. Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Right?
Exactly.
And
yeah, you're right.
I think in life you just gotta bang on every door till one opens, man.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow, it's awesome chat, man. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait for the next podcast, man. We'll have to do it again when you're celebrating like 6 figures in payouts, man. That's absolutely amazing. And like I said, maybe even Alpha Prime one day, man. That'd be really
100%.
sick.
I'd love to.
Incredible.
To get to that stage. Yeah.
So one final time, where can people find you, man? What's your Instagram? And
Keagan Perry _ on Instagram, and my other page is official AK Futures on Instagram as well. And I have all my links on my Instagram.
So that's it. If people want to learn the magic, they know where to come. Amazing. Well, thanks for the chat, everyone. If you enjoyed this, let us know below. and subscribe for more amazing content just like this. Join our Discord as well, and check us out on all the socials, and we will see you in the next podcast.